All right, welcome back. I have something really interesting to talk about. It's being talked about a lot on Instagram and TikTok. It's the topic of discussion right now, and it's calories when it comes to building muscle. Do you need a calorie surplus to build muscle? Do you not need a calorie surplus to build muscle? People are all over the place. The community is all over the place. Some people are saying bulking is vaulted. Some people are saying you can build muscle in a calorie deficit. So we'll get into this because I see a lot of creators, even the ones who I follow, that they're not quite explaining it properly so that the average person can understand, right? And there's this huge pet peeve of mine that people start talking a lot in technical terms, like, oh, technically speaking, when it's not all the time very practical, right? It's not practical at all to completely stay on the technical side of stuff. So we're gonna dissect. All right, let's go. First set, shoulder day. Yes, just shoulder day. I don't care. I like doing a bro split. Okay, good set. Right, so we're gonna dissect it. Do you need a calorie surplus to build muscle? Actually, before we get into this, as far as muscle building is concerned, it's a signaling dependent process. You need the stimulus before anything else matters. You need to lift heavy. You need to train to failure, right? Let's get that out of the way. You need to be eating a lot of protein, right? Let's get that out of the way. Now, we are gonna talk about calories, right? And just to prevent people from strawmanning in the comments, from here on out, everything that I'm about to say is pertaining to calories to building muscle. This is assuming that we agree that you need to train and you need to eat a lot of protein. That's it. We will not touch on these two things. Let's just talk about calories. Let's stay on topic. Do you need a calorie surplus to build muscle? No, but I think the question is wrong. The question that needs to be asked, and that's gonna clear up everyone's confusion, is, do you need calories to build muscle? Yes, absolutely, to a degree. It's not the same as needing a calorie surplus to build muscle, okay? Because some individuals can build muscle on a calorie deficit. That means you don't need to be in a calorie surplus to build muscle, right? Because if you needed a calorie surplus to build muscle, then you would have to explain why people are building muscle on a calorie deficit. You would have to explain why a body recomp is possible. You need energy. You need energy to build muscle. Inside your body, when the amino acids join together in a peptide chain and that comes together in a complete protein, that whole process requires something called ATP, which is an energy molecule, all right? So yes, it is an energy dependent process to a degree, which no one is talking about. Yes, the most important thing is training. So you can have whatever calories, you can have whatever protein. If you're not training, you're not gonna build muscle. Let's get that out of the way right now. Now, do you need calories to build muscle? Yes. Now, how does this all work? There's going to be two types of people. The first person is going to be a little overweight. He's going to be carrying a lot of body fat. This person can build muscle on a calorie deficit. Why? Because the muscle building process is going to take, there's three conditions that need to be met: training, protein, and energy. Right? Energy can come from food, calories, or as TNF said in one of his videos, the energy from previous calorie surpluses. So body fat, basically, right? So you can use energy from body fat to be used in the muscle building process. Your body is gonna start to break down body fat to use for muscle building. All right, second set. I wanna get a couple reps in. My bicep tendon is really bothering me, so I'm not going too heavy on this. One more. Felt it. But anyway, I'll do some rehab work later. So yeah, you can build muscle in a calorie deficit, depending on how big the deficit is. And it also depends on how long you've been in that deficit. Because the longer you're in that deficit, the more you would have lost weight. And that's when your body fat is lower. That means less energy, less stored energy for your body to use for muscle building. People saying main gaining is the way. Okay, again, the whole technically versus practically side of the part, because I want to touch on this, because I want to teach you people how to think, because a lot of people don't know how to think, or at least outside of their own situation. Main gaining, which basically means if you stay at maintenance calories, you can still continue to build muscle. That is true. That is 100% true, because the energy that's required to build a muscle is included in your maintenance calories. Thinking practically now, forget about the technical side of stuff, thinking practically now. A guy who's 155 pounds, single digit body fat, super lean, about 5'9", 5'8". He's trying to bulk up to 180 pounds, 185 pounds. Very well within his natural limits, right? And his maintenance calories are 2,500. Is he gonna main gain his way to 185 pounds at 2,500 calories? What do you think? Like, no, of course not. Because guess what? As you continue to build muscle, your maintenance calories go up. Exactly. So you're adding calories regardless. Now, adding calories does not mean going into a calorie surplus, because when you go up in body weight, when you gain more muscle, your maintenance calories go up. They're gonna go up to 2,600, 2,700. Bless it. So yeah, your maintenance calories will go up, but practically speaking, well, actually, technically speaking, as you continue to build muscle, you can recalibrate and recalculate your calories, your new maintenance calories. But no one is so neurotic in their mind that they're recalculating and recalibrating their maintenance calories for every gram of muscle that they gain. Because I know there's people who are gonna do that. I know there's people who are so much into like the textbook stuff that they're going to do that. And just to be safe, what's the practical thing to do? Go into a little bit of a surplus. And I'm still talking about the lean 155 pound guy with single digit body fat trying to get up to 180. So he can't do that by technically he can do it by main gaining, provided that he is increasing his calories as he continues to gain muscle. Because 2,500 calories at 155 pounds might be his maintenance. But let's say he gains 5 pounds over the course of 4-5 months. Or actually, since he's probably a beginner because he's 155 pounds, he's probably gonna gain those 5 pounds in 2 months. If he gains 5 pounds and he gets up to 160, 2,500 is not going to be his maintenance anymore. It's going to be a deficit for him, most likely. Why? Because he gained body weight. His metabolism is higher. He's a larger human being, slightly larger human being. So his metabolism or his energy expenditure is going to increase. So that through 2,500 is going to become his deficit. So he needs to add calories. Calculate his new maintenance, which is higher than 2,500, and stick to that, and he can continue building muscle. But that approach to me seems like you're just trying to keep your head above the water, right? So just to be safe, just to leave no stone unturned when it comes to building muscle, providing enough energy for the body, you go into calorie surplus. And sure, you gain a little bit of fat, but so what? It doesn't matter, right? Because it's physically impossible to grow without adding muscle and fat to the body over time. Yes, also fat. Answer this question. Who's carrying more body fat? A guy who is 160 pounds with 15% body fat, or a 200-pound guy with 15% body fat? The 200-pound guy, he's carrying more body fat because 15% of 200 is more than 15% of 160. That is just basic math. That is just basic math, okay? Now, shifting gears from whether or not you need a calorie surplus to build muscle, now people are gonna say, oh, but when I'm in a deficit, I lose muscle. Or you might have heard a lot of people say that, oh yeah, losing a little bit of muscle is inevitable when you're dieting. No, it's not. You just probably didn't have the muscle that you thought you had. Okay, because if you're training intense, if you're eating a high amount of protein, then you're not losing any muscle. Oh, but my lifts got weaker. Well, yeah, because the leverage of your body, the leverages of your body got weaker. Okay, so the most, the movement that is affected the most when you lose body fat and you become lighter in weight are your presses, right? When I was cutting, I couldn't do as many reps with 225 on bench. So I was thinking that, oh, it's probably because I'm not eating enough carbs, or if I'm, or maybe I'm not hydrated enough, or whatever the reason. But then I quickly figured out that it's not that. It's because I'm like 5 kilograms lighter towards the end of my cut. Like, it was towards the end of my cut when I got down to single-digit body fat this time last year, exactly this time last year. So again, it's not that you lose muscle on a calorie deficit and you'll build muscle on a calorie surplus, right? Because it's very simple. You need energy to build muscle, and you need the training stimulus to build muscle. Shoulders are my weak link, or the weak part. My lagging muscle group, shoulders. But anyway, as I was saying, a heavier individual is going to bench more weight than a lighter individual, okay? Because relative strength does matter. If I were to gain 10 kilograms of body weight, even if it's fat, even if half of it is fat, my bench is gonna go up significantly. So it's not that mass moves mass. It's the fact that my body, like the leverage of my body will change so that it's more favorable to lift more weight. You can even say that the extra body fat is providing a little bit more stability to lift more weight. So again, circling back to the original topic, you need calories to build muscle. Bulking is not vaulted, right? Bulking doesn't mean you have to be in a calorie surplus and gain a bunch of fat. It just means bulking. Bulking means bulking. Bulking means gaining muscle, right? There's no like clean bulk, dirty bulk, whatever. You're increasing your calories over time. You're adding muscle and fat to your body over time in order to grow, in order to gain the size that you're really after, especially you beginners, right? Beginners are also motor unit deficient, which means you won't be able to get as much out of one set or two sets to complete failure as a guy who's been training for 10 years, right? You're motor unit deficient. You need more volume to do that, right? You need 3-4 sets. And here's the thing, beginners, you guys need to get better at lifting. Lifting is a skill. So doing more volume, which means more total reps, is going to get you that neuromuscular efficiency to be able to lift more weight, to eventually be able to get as much out of one single set taken to complete failure as someone who's been lifting for 10 years, right? It's gonna take time for you to get there. If you're a year into lifting or 2 years into lifting, and you're doing the 2 sets to failure, hyper isolating everything, like learn how to do a barbell deadlift, learn how to do a barbell squat, learn how to press dumbbells overhead, learn how to like use free weights, right? I believe everyone should learn how to use free weights and train hard at them to be able to get more out of the machine work that you do, okay? It's not just about using machines and stability, especially earlier on in your journey. Next exercise, upright rows, because I love doing upright rows, man. Not too heavy, because again, not until my shoulder's better, or my bicep tendon. What's the difference between this and lateral raise? Nothing. Is it redundant? Yeah. Who cares? Who cares? Horizontally abduct your shoulder. And I'm doing a bro split, so I'm doing high volume. I don't care. Training hard is more important. Also, I don't hit shoulders twice a week. Or well, rear delts, yeah, because the upper back rows on rear delts, it's going to affect. And then later, after this exercise, I'm gonna do reverse flies on the machine because my rear delts are severely lacking. Anytime I watch myself do a lat pull down, I just see this empty space where the rear delt is supposed to be. And then my lat insertions are quite high, so that they completely overpower my rear delts, or overshadow my rear delts, I should say. So double the work. I mean, it's higher frequency, right? Upper back rows on back day, and then reverse flies on shoulder day. Rear delts twice a week, right? High frequency, optimal for building muscle hypertrophy, right? Let's go. I'm going just enough so that I reach 90 degrees with my elbows. Ooh. It is 12:43 a.m. This gym is open until 2 a.m. In summation, bulking is not vaulted. Your total calories, or rather, whatever maintenance you have, is going to go up the more muscle you continue to build. And even if you overshoot slightly and you end up gaining a little bit of fat, who cares? Eventually that new number of calories is eventually going to become your maintenance if you stay at it. Like if you stay put at that calorie range and you continue to train hard and you continue to build muscle, because it's supposed to be a slow process. Your calories should be going up and you have to keep at it. If you're trying to really grow, you have to keep at it for about a year, right? I would say your bulk should continue for a year, right? And bulking does not mean you're gaining fat. Bulking just means you're bulking. You're gaining muscle, right? Because I didn't say gaining weight. I said gaining, or rather I said bulking, all right? A lot of people, you guys need to learn how to think practically instead of saying, oh, well, technically, actually, it's this. Like, can it, man? Just can it. What can you do? Like, how do you apply what you know? It's practical, right? A few years ago, people were saying, or like a lot of coaches were saying, and this is how you separate the fake coaches from the real ones, right? Because the real ones, they give you context and they give you the practical stuff, right? A lot of you are gonna say, oh, well, you can take creatine any time of the day, right? A few years back, I made a video, I think on TikTok. I don't post on TikTok for some reason anymore. But on TikTok, I said, take your creatine before and after your training. People in the comments were like, no, you can take it any time of the day. Well, yeah, I know you can. And it's gonna give you the same benefit. But tell me, when is a person thinking about taking their creatine? Or when is a person thinking about supplements? When is an average person whose life doesn't revolve around the gym thinks about taking his supplements? Is it right before the gym, or when they're going to the gym, or right after they come home from the gym? Or is it when they're at work on their desk at 12 at noon, working on the computer, and then suddenly they realize, oh, I should probably take my creatine right now. It rarely happens, right? So that's why the recommendation goes, hey, just take it before you train, right? Because you can take it before you train and it's gonna work, right? Now, creatine, yes, it builds up saturation levels in your muscles and it can get to 100% with like continuous supplementation with creatine. You can take it before, you can take it after, you can take it twice. I'm not a fan of 5 grams per day for everyone because a larger human being will need more creatine. So I would say 0.1 grams per kilogram of body weight. So if you're an 80 kg individual, take 8 grams. 4 before, 4 after training. It's not that deep, right? Like how Coach Mundy says, it's not that deep, and it really isn't. A lot of you guys be worried about the wrong stuff. I had a guy ask me, and by the way, the type of question someone asks you tells a lot about how well they understand a specific topic. Okay? So I had a guy ask me, should I be doing 5 reps to failure on triceps push down if I want to build muscle? You're worried about the wrong thing. Like, you're almost there, bro. You were almost there. You were almost there. If you just simply said, should I train to failure to build muscle? The answer would have been yes. Should I do 3 reps, 4 reps, 5 reps to failure to build muscle? Come on now, rep ranges. Like, you're worried about the wrong stuff, man. The same guy, I know him. He's like, he comes to my gym and he trains pretty hard. He's made progress. He's made good progress. So I told him, bro, just continue doing what you've been doing. You're doing everything fine. Don't ask, like, worried about the wrong stuff. Completely worried about the wrong stuff. Rep ranges. Yeah, man, do 5 reps. Do 10 reps. Do 12 reps, 15 reps, 20 reps. I don't know, man. You can. You're worried about, oh my God, fatigue. Like the fatigue monster is gonna come and steal my gains away. Like, no. You're just gonna, you're just going to have more stamina over time. If you, if you keep testing your fatigue, you're going to have better neuromuscular efficiency. You're going to be able to lift harder. You're going to have more stamina. You're going to have more fatigue capacity, which you should be building up, especially as a beginner. All right. Honestly, I should have done this exercise first in the workout and then moved on to the presses. But anyway, see, at the beginning of this video, I said, I wanna get you people to think better, to think at a higher level. Because when you ask questions like when you ask questions worried about the wrong stuff, you're not thinking at a high enough level. I mean, this whole topic about calories and building muscle requires like a straightforward understanding of calories and building muscle is not gonna cut it. Because the way I explain this, you need to be understanding nutrition on a very deep level to be able to separate all the nuances and really try to understand the concept, right? A lot of you need to start avoiding the strawman traps, right? Learn what a strawman is, because a lot of people in the comment sections of these fitness coaches on Instagram, the stuff they're commenting is just strawman after strawman after strawman, right? Learn what a strawman is and learn to avoid it, right? That's like, just that is going to get you to think at a higher level. My abs are embarrassingly weak. By the way, decline sit-ups are an insanely good exercise, right? Mike O'Hearn is the GOAT when it comes to training. I don't care what you think about him, whether he's natty or not. The guy's never been injured, right? He's been doing this, he's been lifting and working out for so long. He's been doing this for so long, man. Since before I was born. Since before I was born. And if a guy like this says something that's gonna help you, and the same guy has never been injured before in his life, you'd be a fool not to listen to him. Because we want to be doing this for a long time, right? We want to be lifting and we want to move better and age better as we continue in life. So that's what it's about. It's not reaching your peak in your 20s and then fading away, right? I'm almost 31. And I'm stronger now than I was when I was 25, 26, 27. Like I'm at my strongest. I'm not at my peak yet. Ooh. So that's the video. That's the video about building muscle and calories. If you enjoyed it, if you learned something, make sure to like and subscribe, or don't. I'm gonna continue making videos anyway, and see you in the next one.